think anyone who knows me knows that I love being a champion for other people. I love to help. And if I'm not helping, I really am sad, if I'm being honest. Like, I want to do something good in the world and make a difference for others. And one of the ways I can do that is by teaching. And the other way I can do that is by writing music, hopefully that helps somebody or that makes somebody happy or even that makes somebody laugh or even that helps them deal with something complicated. I really just love to do for others, to do it with joy and to do it by supporting and being a channel to help them like with whatever goals that they have in life. I think my students would say that I am a little bit goofy, but also I have high expectations. So I expect people to put as much in as I'm giving if it's like a student teacher situation. In other words, like if I know that you're capable of more, I will let you know that and push you. But also, if somebody's not capable of something, I'm not going to push them or make them feel uncomfortable or make them feel stressed that's unnecessary, especially when it comes to being a creative artist. I think that artistry only happens when we're in an environment where we feel at ease enough that we can be expressive and where we feel supported and not afraid to make a mistake. I know some of the best work I've ever written is work where I really took a chance and wasn't afraid to take a chance. So my hope is that the people I work with, that I can do that for them and show them that if you can dream it and you can find the support team and a support network, that anything is possible. I am so excited to help people get to where I am quicker and with more ease. So, when I first started my composer journey, I did not expect to be successful. I honestly expected that I would write one thing for this elementary all county choir and that it would be acceptable and it would fill a hole in the program. And then I would move on with my life and keep teaching and doing what I was doing. And little did I know that that was not only successful enough to be performed more than once, which was a shock to me, but that it got published and then another one got published. And then I was given my own series at Henshaw. And I'm like, me? Like, this is insane. And that now I'm with, I think, 7 different publishers and have over 30 things published and am premiering at Carnegie Hall. And I'm like, who is this? Like, I never thought that was possible for me. And I think part of that is because when we're in school, we're never told, oh, you should compose, right? I think you have to have somebody say, oh, you should try this. And a lot of us never had that. And so we never realized our potential because we didn't have the opportunity to even try. And so I'm hoping that whether you're 20 or 30 or 40 or 70 or 80, whatever age or whatever stage of life you're in, know that ICCI is for you and that there will be somebody there to say, like, I don't care how old you are or where you come from or what your background is. If that music is in your heart and you want to express it through choral music, we are here to help support you and teach you and get you there as best we can. When I first started out, I had not studied composing at all. In fact, I thought that to be a composer, you had to be a very special, magical unicorn, and that I was not one. I always admired composers, though. I always thought, how brilliant must you be that you can just come up with these ideas that communicate depth of feeling and write it for people to sing on stage? And I thought, like, dang, I want to do that. But I really thought, who am I to do that? And honestly, did not even try. In fact, when I was in college as a freshman, we had an assignment for theory class to write a song, and I was horrible at it. In fact, I was so bad that I went to my instructor for help. And I was like, Professor, please help me because I'm terrible at this. I realize now it's because I was using my left brain to compose. I was using my theoretical brain. And what I've discovered now is that I have to use my right brain, and that's my expressive lyricist brain. When I was like 17 years into teaching or something, I got invited to conduct an all county event for elementary kids. I was looking for my repertoire and I could not find that fifth piece. And that fifth piece to me needed to be something emotional and deep because a lot of kids' music is too cute. It needed to be deep and beautiful, but also in a minor key because everything else I had was major. So I was like, I need something like this. So I'm looking everywhere and I'm just not finding what I want because it's either too difficult or too long or it's too cute and I'm not happy. So I don't know what came over me. And this is when I was 45 years old. I don't know what came over me. I reached out to the clinician who is Dina Byers. Shout out to Dina. And I said, how about I just write one for the event and then I won't charge you anything extra and we can premiere it for the event. And she said, sure, because she had no idea. I did not know what I was doing. And so the cool thing about it was I realized in that moment, like I've put it out there, I can't take it back. And it's going to force me to at least try this thing that I've always dreamed about about and wish that I could do, but never given myself a shot. And I don't know why. I think something about being in your 40s, you just decide to try things you never would before. So I wrote the music and I reached out to Mary Beth Yoder White, who is a former college instructor, but also mentor and just a dear person. And I knew that she had experience with that kind of thing. And I said, would you just look at this music and make sure I'm not going to embarrass myself? And she wrote back and she said, actually, I would love to put it in my series with Henshaw Music. And I wrote back to her, no, seriously, that's funny. Like, is it horrible? And she said, no, I'm serious. And that is how my first piece was published. So from there, I was like, what in the world just happened to me? Like, am I a one-hit wonder? I think I'm a one-hit wonder because I don't know what I'm doing. But then at the premiere for this piece, Sandy Holland was in the audience and she was going to be the organizer for a children's choir festival for the very next year. And she came up to me after the concert and is like, I love your piece. Do you want to write a piece for us for the mass choir for next summer? And I was looking around the room like, who is she talking to? She was talking to me. So that was my second piece. And from there, I won a competition with that piece for the SATB version. And then I was like, maybe I can do this. I started composing more and more. And now I'm stupefied to say I have over 30 things published and have just finished my second work for Carnegie. That's a multi-movement work. I am so fortunate that this has led to me being able to do gigs I never thought possible, like all state, going to West Vancouver and Alaska and Zooming with kids in China who've sung my music and going to Italy to compose. I want that for all of you. That's the thing, is I feel like if I can do it, that you can do it. And I believe that's true with all my heart. And I think there are so many educators and or composers who maybe in school just they told you to write the hardest orchestral thing ever. But maybe there's a part of you that is like, ooh, I could write a beautiful piece for high school or middle school or even elementary kids or like a community choir or church choir. And I hate that so many people don't have the opportunity because they don't even know where to start or they don't know somebody who would take them under their wing and give them that support to have an experience composing with somebody who knows what they're doing, but also knows the industry. And so that is why I created the International Choral Composers Institute. I should say too, like this is insane to me. So there's a book coming out from GIA about women composers you should know. And they asked me to be in that book. And I'm like, what is happening? I mean, it's insane the stuff that has happened to me where I feel like somebody should really pinch me like really hard to wake me up. And while I'm feeling like unworthy and I have all of that imposter syndrome stuff, it does not stop me. And it shouldn't stop you because we all have that. And here's the lie. Here's what nobody tells you is that we all have the syndrome. Unless you're a narcissist, and if you are, God love you. But like we all have it. And it doesn't matter how old you are or how much you know. In fact, I think the more you know, the more you have it because you see all the stuff you don't know. But the thing that's so exciting about a career in composing is that there's always more to learn and there is always one more thing you get to do that you've never done before. Always a new awesome choir to meet or a new person to meet and a new place to go and a new experience to have. I want this life for you. I want you to have these awesome experiences and to realize whatever your dream is and let you know that you deserve it. And there are people who really want to help you get there. I think one of the things I want to really make sure people understand is the importance of being true to yourself and saying the thing that you want to say, because that thing that makes you you is what we want to know. And that's what we want to hear through your music. If you try to be like someone else, you'll never be successful because you're not them, you're you. And that's what we want. So I think that that's one of the messages I want to make sure to get across to people is the best way to be successful is to choose to continually be yourself and to not try to imitate or be like anybody else in the world, because that is not going to sell music. Being you will.